For busy urbanites, parks and gardens provide a tranquil space away from the chaos of city life. One architect decided to take this affinity for nature one step further by incorporating a garden setting into their design of a home. They chose to take inspiration from China's famed Suzhou Gardens.
Suzhou Garden, they are actually urban sanctuaries where they were designed for scholars, where they can take respite from the daily obligations. They return to the garden. They enjoy the solitude or the tranquility where they can be at peace and relax. So it's like an urban escape for them. So similarly, in this house in Morley, we were trying to do the same.
Located at the end of Morley Road, this house exudes a sense of calm and serenity. Though a thoroughly modern abode, much of its design principles were inspired by traditional Suzhou gardens.
When the client came about and requesting for this house with Chinese elements, we thought that we should not be doing token architecture where we just adopt elements, just plonk it onto the building.
After a lengthy research process into the design of traditional Suzhou gardens, they extracted a key concept that they wanted to incorporate into the house.
We took reference from the Suzhou Garden, helping us to plan the sequencing of the spaces. So it's not a matter of presenting everything at one go. We give them teasers, the visitor, they have to experience everything, and then we save the best for last.
The architects were not looking to merely transplant obvious Chinese elements into their design. Instead, they were more interested in the Suzhou Garden concept of concealing and revealing. By adopting this concept, they could slowly tease visitors and invite them to explore the different spaces in the house.
An interesting thing that we observed from Suzhou Garden is that the entrance are usually very humble and discreet and small, actually. And so we did the same for Morley. So we had, instead of usual big gate, sliding gate, for the cars to go, we actually created a side entrance for pedestrian. So you actually experience the house entering from the small gate into a very small courtyard, simply done with granite and pebble floor. Then you see the doorway to the house.
The journey continues as visitors enter the house and walk down an elegant corridor to the first big reveal. Here, the expansive sophistication is a direct contrast to the humble entrance.
The living room, it is double volume space, a soaring height, and we've got a courtyard there as well, surrounding on two sides of the living room. So in keeping with the Chinese character of the house, we had one side of the courtyard planted with bamboo. And the other side, we had some Chinese stone relief on the wall.
Beyond the living room, the art of revealing and concealing continues to unfold. A long corridor guides visitors to the next reveal, which is the dining room.
As you progress along the corridor, at the end of it, you reach the dining room, and there we have the third courtyard. Being in tropical Singapore, we decided to have another kind of landscape design for that area. So instead of just having bamboo, we had tropical plants, the heliconia with some colors, very large landscape there. And then the main feature would be that koi pond, which we elevated to make one closer to the water level.
Water is another important aspect of traditional Suzhou gardens because it represents nourishment and life. In Morley Road, water was incorporated not just through the koi pond, but also in the final reveal of the journey. However, in keeping with the concept of concealing and revealing, the architects did not want to give the finale away too easily.
In the dining room, we also incorporated a slit window that we could take a glimpse of what is beyond. So what is beyond is actually the big reveal, which is the main garden space, a huge water body, which is actually the swimming pool.
Taking their cue from the traditional Chinese architectural principle of harmony, the architects wanted to ensure that the pool would be in perfect unison with the rest of the house.
In most landed housing, the pool is quite a prominent feature given the size that it is and the land that we have, So we took effort in trying to subdue the look of a swimming pool by using a tile which is not so common. We actually chose black tile to complement the granite feature wall that we had.
Just as the famed Suzhou Gardens provided scholars with a serene place for quiet contemplation, the beautiful pool and landscaped gardens seeks to replicate the same atmosphere of tranquility for the owners of the house and their guests.
The house is planned to create a journey for the visitor, starting from the first threshold, the courtyard, and you progress into the living room and the courtyard, to the dining room and its courtyard, walking through the water feature, and from there you get to see the final reveal of the garden, and then it's where you end the journey back into where you started, which is the first courtyard, and then you leave the place.
Serene and calm, this house is the perfect abode for rest and reprieve amidst a bustling city.